Good evening, everyone. It is once again Ted the Speed Learner, and yes, once again I'm running a live stream right now. That is why you're seeing me at somewhat of an angle. Okay? Now, why are we here tonight? Because I'm going to review Home Alone 2. But before I do, I just want to quickly note that I have 5 Kindle books, and if you want to purchase any of those Kindle books, or you want more information about those Kindle books, let me know in the comments below, and I will send you links to those Kindle books, and you can buy them for yourself. They're only $5 a piece. You can check them out for yourself. Alright, my latest Kindle book is Did You Remember Everything? So you can go ahead and check that out. Alright, so let's just get down to business. Home Alone 2, I've got the notes right here. I'm going to ask a bunch of questions about it. What you'll do is you'll take your DVD, or you could do this on the live streaming. You can do either one. Pop Home Alone 2 in, and as I ask these questions, watch the video and compare it to what I'm asking, okay? And that's very important, all right? Afterwards, I'll tell you exactly what I think of the movie. All right. Now, how do contestants win prizes on the Ding Dang Dong game show? That is never revealed in the movie. Why is Kevin in his parents' bedroom? That's never answered. Alright. Now you're telling me, now remember, Kevin's father walks into the room. He has completely forgotten that his alarm clock is plugged into the same outlet as some battery charger that he has plugged in there. Okay, because remember, he unplugged it and plugged it back in. He forgot that the battery charger and the alarm clock was plugged into the same socket. And that's what caused the mess in the first place. If he had those different sockets, none of that would have ever happened, period. Okay? Now, after what happened the previous Christmas in the McAllister house, Kevin's dad didn't check the alarm clock before he fell asleep? And are you telling me that not a single kid in that entire house, nor any of the adults that were in that house, had separate alarm clocks just in case the two parents screwed up? Are you kidding me? No, that just wouldn't happen. That's not even a plausible scenario. Okay, I can personally accept that Kevin was in this choir. No problem. But are you telling me that Buzz was in the same choir as Kevin? Really? Why? Are you telling me that Buzz has the same kind of wonderful voice as Kevin? How did that happen? I thought this was a school thing. I didn't think they'd want to combine all the kids that way. Now, Buzz is an older kid. Really? We're talking about a suburban high school. Or maybe a junior high. I don't know. But Kevin and Buzz were not even close to the same class. I promise you that. So, and no one in that audience, even if they noticed that Buzz was misbehaving, they didn't try to stop him in any way, shape, or form. They just laughed? Really? Even the piano player should have noticed and should have stopped playing and said, I'm not going to do this anymore. This kid's misbehaving. Nobody tried to stop Buzz before Kevin did. Really? No, that's not even realistic. Buzz should have been severely punished for his actions. It was what he did that caused the problem, not what Kevin did. Why should Kevin say anything at all? He didn't do anything wrong. As far as I'm concerned, he didn't do absolutely nothing wrong. Now, when everyone was at the airport, Kevin's dad was surrounded by his family. Okay? Literally, Kevin's dad was surrounded by Kevin's brothers and sisters. Alright? Why did Kevin follow a guy who wasn't surrounded by anybody? I mean, think about it. He looked down for a second, put the batteries in, looked back up, and started following a guy that wasn't surrounded by anybody. Really? He should have known right away something was wrong because the rest of the family wasn't following. And they were all together before that. Now, the stewardess didn't place the boarding passes in some kind of a bag as she took them from each and every customer. That would have kept everything organized. I mean, she should have had a little case or a briefcase or something to have kept those things in. I mean, my gosh, that's pretty inept, don't you think? And no one at the airport, now we're talking about when he arrived in New York. When Kevin arrived in New York, not one stewardess, not one any airport employee asked Kevin where his parents were. I can't believe that. And the taxi cab driver, he didn't ask Kevin where his parents were either. In New York? You must be kidding. And a New York shop, and I know this is kind of unusual, but a New York shop, nobody in the shop asked Kevin where his parents were. Excuse me, really? Let me get a quick drink here and I'll go on. Okay, back to work. I'm sure Kevin wanted to be alone for a while. Granted, he had already had a little tiff with his parents and he wanted to be alone for a little bit. But I'm sure he knew what hotel his family was going to stay in. Why didn't he call his family? Why didn't he call the hotel and leave a message? Why not? It's Christmas, and Kevin is actually able to reserve a room at the Grand Plaza Hotel. Really? And how did Kevin know what questions would be asked of him from the hotel clerk when he made the phone call? He couldn't have known. Okay. What, did he do it like 6 or 7 times and finally get it right? I don't know. And why didn't Kevin record the credit card number? Why didn't he recite the credit card number into his tape recorder when he did this? And how did Kevin inflate the clown? Remember he had that plastic clown? How did he inflate that so quickly? I'd like to know that as well. And even when he got the clown, let's say he had enough time to inflate the clown that quickly. How did he get the ropes tied around that clown so quickly? He had to have had that set up long before. Anyway. Oh, and Kevin never tried to call Uncle Rob. That's never shown. And why did the credit card company insist on the machine that the credit card was stolen? They should have had a representative actually call the hotel and say, hey, look, this Peter McAllister credit card, there's a reason why it's not going through, and that's because of this situation. What? Nobody at the credit card company actually called the hotel and told them what was really going on? Nobody from the police department did that? Nobody in the Florida police department, the New York police department? Nobody called this hotel and told them what was really going on? Please. Now, what are the odds that Harry and Marvin would bump into somebody twice? Okay? I mean, think about it. What are the odds that they would have ever found themselves in the situation where once again they were in front of Kevin McAllister? The odds would have been 1,000,000 to 1. There's no way that could have ever happened. The odds are so astronomical. I mean, think about it. They literally broke out of a Chicago prison and ended up in New York. Why would they ever go to New York? Harry and Marv probably would have gone south to Florida or something. They would have never gone to New York. Okay? Now, not one member of the hotel staff called the credit card company or the police before trying to apprehend Kevin. Why? That doesn't make any sense. Now then, prior to escaping from the hotel, Kevin never made an attempt to visit his Uncle Rob. Why not? And initially, Kevin never looked for an alternate entrance into Uncle Rob's apartment in New York. Really? And no one ever tried to rob Kevin? Give me a break. He's going through Central Park. Thieves everywhere. Come on. Oh, and Kevin prepared all the traps in just 3 hours. Really? And when Harry flew up in the air and landed on the car, he not only damaged that car like you wouldn't believe, but also, I mean, you know, there wasn't that high of a jump. He damaged the car that much, and then he actually was able to walk away from that? Really? I don't think so. And then Marv, when he pulled the cord, of course he got injured because he did that, but then he continued to pull the cord? Who'd do that? And that was the cord on the doorknob, by the way. That's what I'm talking about. And Marv never looked at the floor? Give me a break. He had already been in Kevin's home a year earlier, and he never looked at the floor? I don't believe it. And the fire didn't ignite the clothes of Marv or Harry. Okay, they're on the rope, the rope's on fire, and it never ignited their clothes. Right. And Kevin didn't anticipate the ice. Give me a break. He used to live in Chicago. Well, he still lived in Chicago. He knew perfectly well about ice, and he didn't anticipate the ice? Please. And how did Kevin know the exact moment he needed to activate the fireworks? He didn't know when those police officers were going to arrive. He got a guess at it, but he really didn't know for sure. Now, there are dozens, and I mean hundreds of Christmas trees all around New York City at Christmas time. How did Kevin's mom know the exact Christmas tree that Kevin was going to be standing at? How could she possibly know? She didn't. Now, overall, I have to say that Home Alone 2 was a very cool movie. I like it. It's fun. It's funny. It had a lot of great laughs. Despite anything I was asking questions about, overall, it's a good movie, and it's very enjoyable. I actually liked it. I liked the first one better. This was a little more predictable. But the thing is that these movie errors, and you can see how erroneous this is, it does distract from the movie. So, yes, I liked it. Yes, I would watch it over and over again. It's just that funny. The dialogue was great. The characters were great. Everything was great. But some of this stuff was just so utterly stupid, especially if you're doing this the second time around. It's like, really? This kind of distracts from what could have been. This could have been a lot better. But you take what you take. And yes, I'm glad they did a second one, and I hope that someday that Macaulay Culkin decides to do some kind of thing for a nice little trilogy. That would be cool. I would like to see Macaulay Culkin reprise his role, and this time he be the dad, and he has a kid that goes through all this. That would make a good Home Alone 3. What they've had were Home Alone after that was just awful. They need a real Home Alone 3. And it needs to be Kevin McAllister's now the dad, and he has a kid, and he ends up leaving the kid behind. But maybe he comes back into the nick of time to save the kid, or whatever. That would make a good Home Alone 3. Alright, so, overall, I liked the picture. They had good music. It had good everything. The characters were great. It was a little silly, but that's what Home Alone's supposed to be. It's a little silly, but like I said, these kind of mistakes can distract from what could have been. And hopefully, when anybody sees this review, if the producers and directors get Macaulay Culkin back, they can make a really good Home Alone 3 without these kind of mistakes. Okay? So, that's all I've got to say for this particular video. I want to thank you very much for watching this presentation. If you want to recommend this to the crew of Home Alone, go for it. Send it to Macaulay Culkin, whatever. Anyway, I want to thank everybody for watching this presentation. Share it with everybody. Let everybody know that I've done this. And again, I say, if you want links to my Kindle books, please let me know. Alright, I will tell you more in a future video, so I'd like for you to stay tuned.